Hello, this is Zig Ziglar. You are listening to Rolling Hills Radio with Ken Hardley.
This show is funded in part by the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Regrant Program, with support from the New York State Legislature and Governor Andrew Cuomo, and administered by the Cattaraugus County Arts Council. This show is also supported by Axiom Printing and Teresa Quinn Esquire. Rolling Hills Radio is underwritten by the Jamestown Gazette, a hometown paper providing residents and businesses with positive stories and timely information.
Welcome to Rolling Hills Radio with Ken Hardley. Join us for an hour of music and conversation from Shawbucks in Jamestown, New York. Tonight's guests are Rj Cowdery and Todd Burge. Now please welcome our host, Ken Hardley.
Come through the pain. Come and sit with me, let's talk again. My heart beats for you now, deep and slow. I know you'll understand that I have to go. Blank and cold. How did nothing come of a love so bold? This boat sails roughly, I can't see the bottom. I'll be on the other shore for sure by autumn. What's that light? Oh, that light, come and sit with me just one more night. There's that door, I'll be leaving soon. Stay just a little while in this room. After your dad, he needs you now. You're the best he's had. I used to talk to him and set him straight. His open question now is unborn state. Now it looks like time for my trip to end. You'll go a little longer, my little friend. I'm off to go back to the source. I'll be in your dreams as you run your course. What's that light? Oh, that light, come and sit with me just one more night. There's that door, I'll be leaving soon. Stay just a little while with me in this room.
This program is made possible by listeners like you. For information on how you can be part of the live radio audience or support live radio, log on to rollinghillsradio.org. This program is supported by the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, providing support for economic, workforce, and tourism development in Chautauqua County. Also, the Cherry Lounge. The Cherry Lounge is a full-service bar and restaurant located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 326 Cherry Street.
Thank you, Julius Eastland-Hanley. And welcome to Rolling Hills Radio, brought to you from Shawbox Tonight, the club concert venue nestled in the heart of the entertainment district of Jamestown, New York. On Rolling Hills Radio, you'll hear a lot of grassroots Americana music from a wide range of genres. This episode, we are going to feature two songwriters. We open the show with a man whose very distinctive and interesting career began in 1983 when he went to a club in Morgantown, West Virginia, to do a research paper he was doing on punk rock. That night, he was inspired to pick up an instrument and began writing, and he began playing music. That was the start of a career that has resulted in a bunch of albums, literally hundreds of songs. He's a producer, host of a show about songwriting, and a repeat guest on NPR's Mountain Stage. He's played with such great artists as Bela Fleck, Kathy Mattea, Tim O'Brien, and Lucinda Williams in places such as CBGB's, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and the Kennedy Center. No less an authority than Larry Gross, the host of Mountain Stage, says this about Todd. Todd just gets better. He belongs in the company of Peter Stamfel, Todd Snyder, and Paul Thorne, with Roger Miller winking from beyond. Look upon his works, ye mighty, and despair. He is the Dean of West Virginia Songwriters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Todd Burge to Rolling Hills Radio.
Why, thanks. My granddad worked the dirt till the road came through and cut it in two. Now my backyard's getting cut into two. They're hoping it'll bring some new folks through. I once met a traveling Texas band. Drove Route 50 to their one-night stand. They said, your hills are so pretty, they're awesome and grand. Said, it must be great to be a Wood County man. But when I was young and still in school, my hometown was far from cold. Everything I thought I had to understand could not be taught by a Wood County man. So I moved out west and started living a lot, thinking fast to get through all my new thoughts. The music was loud and the women all fast, but I was only happy while thinking about my past. Yeah, it took a lot of trouble in a faraway land to make me want to be a Wood County man. Let's do that one more time. A city makes a man age so fast. Seems like the doctor just slapped my ass. Slap and a blink and you're old and gray. Wondering how the hell time slips that way. But when I was young and still in school, my hometown was far from cold. It took a lot of trouble in a faraway land to make me want to be a Wood County man. It took a lot of trouble in a faraway land to make me want to be a Wood County man. To that make me want to die, Wood County man. So if you can find a way to save this land and put it into some honest hand, and on down to my newborn son, he can grow up to be a Wood County man. Thank you.
Todd Burge, Wood County man. Awesome.
Thank you.
Who does that stuff? Where'd you learn? Where'd you come up with all that?
Well, I just made it up,
Yeah, okay.
Ken.
That's not punk, but
Yeah, the punk rock thing throws me, but that's a true story. I walked into the Underground Railroad there in Morgantown, and I was going to school there, and I was doing a paper. I thought I was doing a paper on punk rock. The bands that were playing were not punk rock bands. They were new wave. But
new way.
but I was still inspired. I'll never forget walking in and seeing the picture of John Lennon on the wall with his hair slicked back from that rock and roll album, and just the scene there was just a fantastic music scene. Still is in Morgantown.
In Morgantown, yeah. And so you started playing punk. You still do any punk?
I think it's all punk rock, Ken.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We got
Actually, folk.
front row seat to that.
Folk music, and Pete Seeger was a punk. So I mean, there's an attitude. There's a do-it-yourself attitude there that I learned in Morgantown, and with the bands that were playing, and the Underground Railroad there. They were very socially conscious folks, and just like and it really tied right into me getting into folk music.
Punk to folk music. Sure, it's a natural.
Yeah. We can talk about that in length after the show, folks.
Hang around for the meet and greet, and you can hear all about it. But you did indeed. I mean, Larry Gross has said you invented your own style, combining with people like Peter Stanfield of the Fugs. I mean, I hear a little bit of Fugs in there, maybe. I don't know, the Holy Mobile Rounders.
Well, when Larry said that, I had to look up who Peter was, but I get it. After I hear him, I get it. But yeah, I'm lucky to have been on that show many times, and Larry's become a friend.
And as a matter of fact, your latest album is comprised entirely of songs from Mountain Stage.
Yes, that's true. From only the good songs are on there, or on the CD. There's 18 songs on there. Some of them are me playing solo, and a lot of them are with the Mountain Stage Band. I'm really proud of that recording. It took me a decade to make that recording. So. Yeah,
the Mountain Stage Band, that's pretty heady stuff there. But you played with Tim O'Brien, and I mean, in fact, Tim produced one of your albums. Do I have that right?
A couple. He produced 10 years ago. He produced My Lost and Found, and that's the album title. And then a couple years ago, he produced Imitation Life. And just a couple weeks ago, we were in the studio, and he produced. Well, no, he recorded. I guess I produced that one because he was tired. But no. Anyway, we did a couple songs together just a couple weeks ago in the studio, and those will be out in June.
That's really something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's good to know even bluegrass superstars get tired. That's good
I was
to know.
joking. If you're listening, just kidding.
I'm sure he listens. I'm sure he does. You have another song for us. I can tell by that tiny thing you just picked up.
I do. This guitar makes me feel big. And,
ladies and gentlemen, Todd Burge.
So in West Virginia, we have this thing that we do, and we call it dropping meat. Do you call it that here? All right. This song's called Dropping Meat. Deep in the valley, 80 miles from our home, sits a family cabin with 12 beds and a buck stove. There's a deer head on the wall, beside the bear, beside the elk. They didn't see it coming, didn't know to ask for help. The freezer in the cellar holds frozen calls of the wild. Thaw it, cook it, it'll energize us all. Pap and Uncle, the cousins and me are locked and loaded to the T. The whole 9 yards is begging to be popped off in the trees. Rise and shine, rise and shine, it's killing time. When you look them in the eye, you'll see the love of this green earth and the reflection of the you that you once were back at birth. So I sit here in Pap's tree stand, making things a bit unfair. Frozen toes, runny nose, makes me wish I was back there, back at work, bitching about my boss, having a laugh at his expense, while wishing I was in some tree, dreaming about dropping meat, dropping meat.
Todd Burge,
Thank you.
dropping me. That was Todd Burge, and you can find him at toddburge.com. Well, now we have a singer-songwriter who describes herself as a bit of a late bloomer. After working a real job for years, she released her first album just prior to the beginning of the new millennium. Since then, she has won the Mountain Stage NewSong Contest, the Kerrville Folk Festival New Folks Song Contest, and more. She was a guest on the very first Songs at the Center show, which is one of the finest showcases for songwriters on the air. She's recorded albums full of her great songs accompanied by such notables as Cindy Cash Dollar and produced by Todd Burge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rj Cowdery to Rolling Hills Radio Stage.
And now for something completely different. I found myself at a wishing well, threw in some wishes and I ran like hell, as far away as I could go. I think I'm better off if I don't know. I've always been just a little scared of what's been hiding inside my head. If I could only make this right, throw down my guard, step into light, and possibilities, they start to unfold when I unlock my secrets, open up my soul with eyes wide open, so I can see that in this life I feel differently. being different, well, it's just a sign. Something I've carried all of my life. It does not matter where I go. I'm a square peg in a round hole. But I'll keep throwing down the wishing well, and I won't look back to see where they fell. Keep on running, and I hope to see that all I've got to do is be me. And possibility, they start to unfold when I unlock my secrets, open up my soul with eyes wide open, so I can see that in this life with eyes wide open, so I can see that in this life, oh, in this life, oh, in this light, I feel differently. Thank you.
Beautiful. Rj Cowdery. Beautiful stuff. Well, RJ, tell us now. You describe yourself as a late bloomer. What did you do before you were doing?
Well,
music?
I kind of spent my early childhood in basements, singing songs to the records, you know, with the hairbrush and all that stuff. I'm a big Karen Carpenter fan. I didn't used to say that for about 15 years. Now I'm admitting it full-heartedly.
No doubt.
But really, had she not been a singer, I wouldn't probably be singing either.
Is that right?
True, yes.
Wow.
Back in the 70s.
Well, you have got a beautiful, silky voice, if I may say that. It's just
Well, thank you.
stunning. It's really well done. And your guitar playing, it's been described by lots of people as deft and clean. I keep running across those two words to describe your guitar playing. Tell us how you first started playing a guitar.
Well, I kind of had a guitar hanging around the house for years and kind of had maybe 3 strings on it. You know, I would use as it.
You
This
need
is kind of
6,
cool.
right?
No, just, you know, I didn't know what I was doing until, this is a story I don't tell, ever.
Oh, so this is a
So this
Rolling
is,
Hills
this,
exclusive
This is
right
an
here.
exclusive. I cut the tip of my finger off as a child, and it's nerve damage, and now you're all going to just stare at my finger. That's why I don't tell. That's why I don't tell the story. But it caused me to be an overachiever, so I'm an overachieving guitar player. Probably makes me better than I actually really am.
Okay.
So I had to make things work for me, and just became a challenge.
It became a challenge.
Yeah.
It turned out very beautifully. We talked a little bit about your guitar playing. I want to talk about your singing. Do you, when you sing, now you were, to me, you were really projecting, and I could feel the lyrics as you were singing. As you're singing, are you thinking about stuff? Are you putting yourself in some kind of role? Tell us how that goes.
Well, you know, there's a little bit of truth in all the songs, just a smidgen, and then you kind of are for me anyway, and then I'm free to make up whatever else is left. I try to, you know, if it's a story from then on, even though I
Okay.
try to include maybe a little bit of myself personally, definitely not the entire song. On occasion, yes, the entire song. That might have been one of them that I
Okay.
just sang.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because that was a true story. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in Kerrville, Texas, the year I won the Kerrville New Folk, and I wrote that song on the way home. And it got me to thinking, well, if I could work 50 hours a week and win a prestigious songwriting competition that I've been wanting to go to forever, maybe I should think about this a little more.
And we're really glad you did. Great stuff.
Thank you.
You have another song for us, RJ?
Yeah, this is a newer song. I am working on a record. So this is one, I don't want to label it too much, but it is my folk menopausal rap.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rj Cowdery.
it's a falling down and you can't get up. Life goes on even though you're stuck. Your feet won't move and your mind won't heal. Everything's a wreck, you're a broken wheel. Told yourself so many times, if it got this bad, you'd end it by pop another gun, push another pill, make a big splash rolling down that hill. You get brave when nobody's watching, makes it hard to be yourself. Look around now, nobody's watching. Do you have the nerve? Do you have the nerve to fade? And you were a real fine party girl till you lost it all up on the Ferris wheel. Sun went down and so did you. You found yourself shaking all black and blue. Is it a sign? Is it a curse? In the scope of things, well, it might get worse. And I don't know, it's so hard to say. Maybe next time there's a better way. And you get brave when everybody's watching. Makes it hard to be yourself. Look around now, nobody's watching. Do you have the nerve? Do you have the nerve to fade? You know, I've never been a fan of talking in a song, because there's rhymes and reasons and everything could just go wrong. But life is a gem, it's a babbling brook. It's everything you've wanted, it's all the things you took for granted. The sky, the pie, whole 9 yards be gone in one damn blink of an eye. If you're not careful, if you're not true, it's gonna come back to bite you. You get brave when everybody's watching. Makes it hard to be yourself. Look around now, nobody's watching. Do you have the nerve? Do you have the nerve? Yeah, look around now, nobody's watching. Do you have the nerve? Do you have the nerve to fade? As it's a falling down and you can't get up. Life goes on even though you're stuck. Your feet won't move and your mind won't heal. Everything's a wreck, you're a broken wheel.
Rj Cowdery. Whoa. All right, we have more music and conversation with our guests, as well as a song we're all going to sing together. A song sometimes referred to as the most recorded gospel song. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Rolling Hills Radio, episode 74. If you would like to be part of our live radio audience, log on to rollinghillsradio.org to purchase tickets. We'll be back after the break with more from Todd Burge and Rj Cowdery.
Hello, this is Jeff Goodhue, and you are listening to Rolling Hills Radio with Ken Hardley.
The second half of our show begins in just a minute. Rolling Hills Radio is funded in part by the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Re-Grant Program, with support from the New York State Legislature and Governor Andrew Cuomo, and administered by the Cattaraugus County Arts Council. If you would like to be included on the Rolling Hills email distribution list, send your email address to ken@rollinghillsradio.org. You can also find past episodes of Rolling Hills Radio and lots more at rollinghillsradio.org. And now, back to Rolling Hills Radio.
Thank you, Julius Isla Hanley. We have lots more to go here from Jamestown, New York. Rolling Hills Radio is accessible to the public on community radio, local access cable, college radio stations, and other non-commercial outlets. It's important, certainly more important than ever, that the arts are readily and affordably available, and we're always vigilant for ways to assure that this music reaches its public. That means that this show can be found in places that are other than mainstream. Getting out of the mainstream of the mass media means that you will hear things that you have never imagined. Specialized information, unusual viewpoints, and esoteric facts. For example, I was listening to a community radio station the other day, and I heard that sunglasses make people more attractive because they give the illusion of a chiseled bone structure on top of a soft featured face. What do you think? Is this working for me, RJ? Yeah, I thought so. Well, Todd Burge is about to play another song for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Todd Burge back to the Rolling Hills Radio stage.
Thank you very much. Maybe this takes a little introduction. This song should have a little introduction. This is called Adam of Eve. And it's about written history. It's about how men have mostly written history. That's enough. I came here to set the record straight, but my fear has reduced me to this whisper. I fear my story might disappear as my past gets passed down and rewritten all around. We men have owned this story since we men invented man, since we've invented mind, since all written history began. And while in my moment of weakest thought I caught her with her back turned while she was busy taking care of me and everything I've ever known or ever heard or ever seen. That story about my rib was quite a fib, as the truth is she preceded me. First thing I remember was I woke up bawling and there she was. First it was she, then it was me. And while in my moment of weakest thought I caught her with her back turned while she was busy, and in my deepest scream of envy for her in all her strength and her beauty, I wrote the blurb that blurred all history. I wrote the blurb that blurred all history. Then I told my story to the stars. I told my story to the sun. But when I told my story to the serpent, this is when it caught on and on. I told my story to the stars. I told my story to the sun. But when I told my story to the serpent, this is when it caught on and on. And on and on. And on and on. She was everything I needed her to be. Everything I needed her to be. Everything I needed her to be. Everything I needed her to be.
Todd Burge.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Todd Burge. Well, Todd, tell us, you have so many albums out with so many different topics. I mean, this is a guy who wrote a song about a Jesus-shaped nightlight. This, so many topics. How do you stay interested? How do you stay prolific? How do you spur yourself creatively?
I guess I listen a lot, and I try to pay attention to what my kids say to me, and they say a lot of weird stuff, Ken.
Oh, they do.
And I don't know. It's just writing has become this daily habit for me, and I'm just interested in many different things, from punk rock to bluegrass to and I'm interested in songs that are really visual and cinema and things of that sort. I mean, it's really endless. I mean, it's really endless what you could write about, and I don't like to think about. I don't like to think about the odd. No offense. I don't like to think about, well, what's my mom going to think about this, or the audience, or whatever. And I think that frees me to be a little weird, possibly. But
get out of here, really. But you said you write every day? You write every day. Now, we've heard that from other great songwriters. Tom Paxson a little bit ago told us the same thing. Just sit down and do it.
I do. I mean, I try to write every day, and I mean that's different than writing every day, isn't it? But especially if I have a project, coming up, I write every day, and I might do that for months. Now, and I'm not a. I write a lot of bad stuff, Ken. I mean, and then every once in a while, accidentally. Something that I think, well, I'll share this with these people, will pop up, and it's kind of rare.
Can you tell the difference when you write a song? You say this is good or this is bad, or
most of the time, I have a gut feeling that people might like this, but my wife is the best at that. She'll listen, and usually if she thinks something's really good. The audience tends to agree. So I've had one of those.
So she will tell you if something's bad.
Oh, yeah, she'll tell me if something's bad.
Yeah. Money can't buy that kind of feedback. That's great.
Right.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Well, you have another song for us, I'll bet, Todd.
Sure. I'll do a song about songwriting.
This guy writes about everything.
This came from a song pull, as in Pull. Some friends of mine, we'd get together once a month, and we'd come in with our new song ideas, and we'd try to outdo each other. And that's where this came from. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Todd Burge on Rolling Hills Radio Station.
Pulled this song out of my guitar. I swear it was buried deep in there. And at some party I played it out for a bunch of drunk jokers to hear. For a bunch of drunk jokers to hear. My intentions tonight are to mention some thoughts so deep they'll sear your ears and bring on the tears. And at the end, you'll stand slack jaw and all applaud and cheer. Applaud. But that's enough about me. What do you think? Hey, that's enough about me. What do you think? If Dad had hugged me once or twice As a baby, maybe I'd be an accountant. Counting your money, and in my spare time, maybe counting a bunch of mine. Counting a bunch of mine. But let's face it, folks, I'd be some sort of fake if I claimed I was here just to share. I'm here to show off a bit in hopes that it'll get us to some sort of trade we both think is fair. Some sort of trade we both think is fair. But that's enough about me. What do you think? What do you think? Hey, that's enough about me. What do you think about me? Thank you.
What do you think about Todd Burge? Wonderful. ToddBurge.com. Well, I see RJ's getting ready. How about if we have another song from Rj Cowdery on the Rolling Hills radio stage?
I'm playing some new songs here now. Been through a lot of loss and a lot of change in the past couple years, it seems like. So, of course, I want to write about it. It's the best way if I can have the therapy for it, you know. So. In the morning when I cry, I think about all that I am given. Think about everything I had, all the sweet and all the sad. And when I lie myself to sleep, hoping all will be forgiven, and I'll finally get some peace in the secrets of my dream. When the day should finally come and I don't have the will for living, lay my tired body down, let there be singing all around. We'll sing a song for Ohio. Don't forget I love Colorado, all those Rocky Mountain heights. Man, it's almost good to die. See, in the morning when I cry, I think about all that I am given. Think about everything, all the good and all the bad. in the secrets of my dreams. And I'll finally get some peace in the secrets of my dreams.
Rj Cowdery. Beautiful stuff, Rj. Now, you are a wonderful songwriter. You do an occasional cover tune as well.
Yeah, I love singing other people's songs. It's kind of, you know, it's how we learn how to play music.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I never thought of it like that, of course. Well, on stage nowadays, so tell me the difference between playing a cover and one of your own.
Nothing.
There's no difference.
No. I pretend like I wrote it. For real. That's how I have a whole record of covers of songs of heroes and of friends and mentors, and the songs that kind of I feel have made a big impression on me as a young adult to want to continue to write and make songs on my own. So I literally pretend that I wrote those songs.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
The best I could.
I'm actually Van Morrison.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
No, I thought you were John McCutcheon. No, oh, sorry. Sorry.
You're a veteran of the stage. For the kids listening here, please, who are just getting started, is there anything that you can give them as far as hints when you're nervous on stage? What might you do?
Oh gosh, there's so much. You just sometimes closing your eyes helps a little bit. I know it's not the best thing to do, but because you want to make that connection with folks. But
yeah.
You just want to. It's a sharing of what you have to give to people, and I think that people really want to root for you. So you just dive in, both feet. And so I know that I used to have stage fright, and I never did the naked thing or the underwear thing. It wasn't really part of things I wanted to look at, but I know that's what everybody thinks about. But it's a hard question to answer. I think we all just kind of, you want to do this so much, and you feel this is the best part of me. I feel like I can give away to people.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So I got to get there, or I can't do this.
Yeah. Great answer. Great. Well, you have another song for us. Don't be nervous. You have another song for us.
No, now I'm really nervous.
Rj Cowdery.
Asking myself these questions, rolling round like a rock in my head. Should I be worried about tomorrow? Well, I'm stuck in this cloud instead. Gotta figure out where I'm going. Maybe I'm not going anywhere. Or these miles that I drive, lines that I ride, just a hopeless love affair. This is all there is. What if this is all the love I'm ever gonna give? And the ladder that I'm on, standing on the highest rung I'm ever gonna stand. What if this is all there is? All the blood and the sweat and the crying, surely my cup is overfilled. Soak up all the good that I spill. And I know this might sound crazy, but for me it rings so true. One song at a time is doing me just fine, and who knows, I might pull this through. So what if this is all there is? What if this is all the love I'm ever gonna give? And the ladder that I'm on, standing on the highest rung I'm ever gonna stand. Living for now is what I do best. It's a family mystery. It might take my whole life to get it just right before I finally believe that my world fits perfectly. What if this is all the love I'm ever gonna give? And the ladder that I'm on, standing on the highest rung I'm ever gonna stand. Oh, what if this is all there is? What if this is all the love I'm ever gonna give? And the ladder that I'm on, standing on the highest rung I'm ever gonna give. What if this is all there is? What if this is all there is? What if this is all there is?
Rj Cowdery.
Thank you.
Thank you, RJ. That was beautiful. Well, now the three of us are going to attempt a song together, and this was written by the most prolific gospel songwriter of the last century, Albert Brumley. First done as nearly as we can figure by the Reverend Gary Davis in 1929, but since then it would probably be easier to name all the people who have not done the song than the people who have done this song. People: Willie Nelson, Alison Krauss, Kanye West, Bill Monroe. Lots and lots of people have done this song. We're going to give it a shot now. Please feel free to sing along. I'll fly away.
I'm going to start right. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
When the shadows of this life is gone, I'll fly away. Like a bird from the prison walls that flown, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joys never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning. When I die, hallelujah, my bride. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, bye. right. Well, no less a religious authority than Martin Luther said, a person who does not regard music as a marvelous creation of God must be a clodhopper indeed, and does not deserve to be called a human being. He should be permitted to hear nothing but the braying of asses and the grunting of hogs. Okay, although we don't have anything in particular against braying and grunting, the Reverend makes a good point here. Music is indeed a marvelous creation and helps us find that which exists within ourselves. Whether it's funny, heartbreaking, ironic, or sweet, music brings it to our consciousness in a way that doesn't require analysis and thought. In that sense, wonderful songwriters like RJ and Todd are irreplaceable. They provide us with information and wonderful feelings, and that's the way things go on Rolling Hills Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ken Hardley. We'll see you next time on Rolling Hills Radio.
You've been listening to Rolling Hills Radio, episode 74. Special thanks to Rj Cowdery and Todd Burge. The Rolling Hills Radio cast and crew are technical director Ed Bad Dog Tomasini, audio Steve Going to the Chapel, local man of mystery Diamond Dick Gould, bottled water inspector Nicole Chappell, guarding the exits Susan George and Jim Goodling, social, hygienic, and clock watching duties Nancy McGuire, Brianne Fidel, and Tom Fidel, photographer Lori Say Cheese Severy, and assistant producer and bomb sniffing dog handler Kathy Hardley. I'm Julia Cecil Hanley, the voice of the blue sky. We'll see you next time on Rolling Hills Radio.